It's the Moto3 French Grand Prix, and this is how they line up on the grid. David Alonso on pole position. Alongside him is Daniel Holgado and Jose Antonio Rueda. Row 2, Adrian Fernandez, Colin Vire and Ivan Ortolo. Row 3, Joel Kelso, David Munoz and Angel Pucararis as well. Row 4 sees Rishi Yamanaka, Jacob Woolstone and Scott Ogden 12th. Row 5, Riccardo Rossi, Takeuchi Suzuki and Luca Lunetta. Row 6, Joel Esteban, Teo Fabrizio and Zabab Zuritsa as well in 18th. Row 7, Matteo Bertoletti, Nicola Caro and Filippo Ferroli. Row 8, David Almanza, Stefano Nepa and Noah Deltweller. Row 9 sees Joshua Whiteley alongside Takahorn Barassi as well in the back. Away we go then on the parade lap as they fool their way through. Fingers crossed we're going to be in for an exciting Moto3 race, because the last thing we want is boredom as well. Let's check in though with our commentary team over at TNT.
Moto3, because a little bit of inexperience with some of the riders. It'll be the first time they're experienced that, certainly the rookie riders, but it gets tight into there. It's one line, that's the problem. And you've got, how many riders is it? 24 riders all going to that one line. So, yeah, you've got to be brave, but you don't want to be too brave.
Can you remember riding in front of crowds like this when you were 17, 18? What did that feel like?
It is a special feeling, and it genuinely does take me back to the early 90s when I first started Grand Prix racing, and you'd go to certain venues like Aston, there'd be 300,000 people, and it's an incredible feeling. It's a massive adrenaline rush, especially at this track, because it is a bit old school, and you can see the spectators are close to the action, and you genuinely do feel that. It's it's a special experience.
You know, like sometimes we talk about other sports, you know, football, rugby or whatever, and some players play to the crowd and others, you know, shrink maybe under the pressure. Does that happen in motorcycle racing?
Absolutely. I always loved that feeling of the spectators are close, the pressure's on. And actually, I think now they're so experienced. These young kids, when they come into this championship, that they'll be used to it.
How are Holgado and Rueda going to approach this? Because David Alonso, it feels like, has a couple of tenths. Is this a track he could escape on? What can they do about it?
Yeah, I think so, and they've got to try and disturb him. The good thing is, and this might sound a bit strange, is that David Alonso crashed out on the first lap at the last race. So I think his team will say, you've got the race pace, but don't go crazy early on. Let the race come to you. So that might help the other riders see what he's doing and actually try and cling on to him.
This is going to be a very close race. Fingers crossed the action will maintain. Do not leave the room, because this one is going to be something explosive. They're all ready as well at the back. The tail enders line up. Barassi and Whiteley. David Alonso on pole position. Daniel Holgado is alongside him. The green flag is in the back. It's all eyes to those 5 red lights on the Michelin board, which activate now. Lights out, we're racing at Le Mans. It's a good start from Alonso. He'll hold the lead down towards turn 1. Holgado slots into second position. Coming up is the 48 as well of Ivan Ortolo. He'll maintain third position as we come through the first curve in towards the chicane at the Dunlop at the top of the hill, and at the inside already a lead change. Holgado getting that away from David Alonso, and Alonso can do absolutely nothing about it. So Holgado into the lead of the race. Alonso down to second, Rueda third, Munoz into 4th, 5th for Fernandez, Colin Vire in 6th, Ortola 7th, Piquet's up to 8th position as well as they come through La Chapelle, and now up once more to continue the fight. Well, this certainly is turning into be quite an interesting little MotoGP event as well this weekend, as we come through now towards Garage-Vier, 80 kilometres an hour, second gear corner, down the braking zone as well, the inside line, into what is now the 3rd sector of this track, coming up the S. Clermaux Blues corner as well. This is the chicane coming up. So, the lead of the race, Holgado, then it's Alonso, Munoz, Rueda, Fernandez. That's the timing that they currently stand. They haven't yet shopped over just yet in terms of massive amounts of changes. A few sector times are lighting up, but nothing too bad and nothing too important. to come a factor of that. Oh, and Hologado jumping back through, having to defend. Munoz has taken second position. So Munoz now takes second place now. Well, they did want to have an idea of what they would be dealing with. There's some lap timings coming through. Whiteley and Fernandez have been given long lap penalties across their board. Well, sadly, we knew that was coming as they come down. Hologado, though, leading this one by 0.4 of a second. Munoz now in second. Alonso can take third position as well. And Alonso trying to take second place back. Not going to work. Munoz up 6 places from where he started. There's the long lap penalty confirmed for Fernandez. So no change there. For Rizzo changing places 7 times over. Around the outside now, Ruda having a go. So it's all go in the opening stages of this race. Let's see what the TNT guys are saying.
He had a big crash earlier on this weekend, but it seemed to be okay after that, but his bike is unwell by the looks of things. Still Holgado leads, different lines there from Holgado and Munoz through Museum.
Yeah, there are a few lines through that corner. The rest of the track, it's pretty much one line, but yeah, Museum's, it's a strange corner. It really opens out, actually, for a hairpin style corner.
Especially for Moto3.
Yeah, absolutely. The MotoGP bikes make more of a sharp V out of it, but these guys try and get a bit of roll speed through the middle of it.
David Alonso sits tight. He did, didn't he, behind David Munoz. He's in third on the number 80, behind 64 Munoz. Yeah. And Daniel Gardo, the 96, leads us through.
He didn't think about it. That was another key factor. He thought about it, move on the inside line, but Hologado holds the lead for Munoz. Then it's Alonso, Fernandez, via Ruda, Ortola, and then up into 8th position is Rulestone. Piqueras Kelso takes out the top 10 as well. Down across the line we come then. Here comes the 16. Oh, look at that. Lap changes again and again with faster exit times. It goes down to Suzuki, who's now done a 1:41.631 as Munoz dives on the inside line of Hologado coming down into the Dunlop chicane. Turn 2 is into the chicane here at the top. Drops it back down. Yeah, there's a few changes around. Not many people want to change it, but it's looking okay. It's not as difficult as we thought it would be. 18 laps to go. Hologado holds that inside line. Munoz thinks about moving to the inside line. Piqueras and Ruda coming back in 7th and 8th positions respectively. Back on the power we go then, up the hill. And so far this race turning out to be quite a nice one. There's the long lap penalty for Adrian Fernandez here. And that'll drop him down the order. I think Whiteley's done it as well, yeah. So they've both completed their long lap penalties now. We've had it confirmed on our monitors. So 4 minutes into the race. This is lap 3 of the event. And there's a few rain clouds in the air. I wonder if that might hit at some point as well. Hologado still 96. He's the leader of this race by 1/10 of a second. The field then on the Pirelli rubber, not escaping up the road as we anticipated. They're just going to sort of remain still and remain together. Over the line we go, via 1:41.506, Piqueras 1:41.427. So lap times changing again and again and again here as they come into it.
For him, that is a new race lap record, if my calculations
on the outside, up the inside.
Oh,
what
here we
a
go.
Move.
Lovely stuff, isn't it?
What a move.
Piqueras has such good racecraft.
Yeah.
We saw that in rookies. We watched all of the rookie races pretty much. And he didn't win them by much margins, but he just chose the right moment to make the decisive move.
Yeah, really, really aggressive, but no hesitation. In those sorts of passes, if you hesitate a little bit, you end up where you end up colliding with the rider. But Piqueras is one of those instinctive riders. Looks good.
So Holgado leads us through into the garage there. He's coming again, is he? No.
He thought about it.
He did. He's going to go in the second part of the corner. He made that beautiful. He made that look superb through there, and he just got the corner absolutely right. David Alonso maybe just a little bit deep on the brakes, and he turned underneath him.
Yeah, and you feel like he forced David Alonso to brake a little bit later, and that pushed him a fraction wide, but David Alonso straight back.
Yeah, I think Alonso's got a different tactic here. While he might have felt he had pace to get away at the front, he's sitting in. He's sitting in tight, saving something for the end of the race. Now, Pirelli said to us, because this track is medium grip, but really low wear that they're getting on the tyres, there shouldn't be too much of a drop, but it looks like Alonso saving something.
Yeah, that's what I'd definitely say.
Yeah, Alonso's saving just something as they come across the line. 16 laps to go now then as they come across it. So Alonso, Munoz via Alonso as well. That's and Piqueras in P5. Piqueras still closing in as well. And now we've got Via coming up out of nowhere. Sends it up the inside. Nearly clears out Alonso. And Piqueras round the outside of said Alonso into the chicane at turn 2 and 3. And brilliantly moves up into 4th position. Caught him by surprise, didn't he? That was brilliant from Piqueras. They are pushing so hard in this race as well. He's a force to be reckoned with, is Piqueras. Now look at the front. Holgada's feeling a little bit of pressure. He's too now starting to back up the pace a little bit. Munoz is going to try and attack, but he's got Colin Via right up the trumpet to try and make sure anything changes. Ricardo Rossi has done a 141.30. He's got the fastest lap of the race so far, down in 8th position. Yep, there's a long lap penalty for, I think is that David Almanza dropping down? No, that's Adrian Fernandez. Oh, it's a double long lap penalty for Adrian Fernandez. Of course it is, yes. So, Fernandez has done his, and has Joshua Whiteley done his now as well? Yes, he has. Yeah. It's come up on the timer screen. They've both completed their long lap penalties. Yep, there it is now. Just flashing up on the monitors below us here. Both have completed their long lap penalties. I wish the new timing system had the messages come up at the bottom, but in the old fashion, with the not like the new one, because it just doesn't work. It really doesn't. It's an annoying habit that it keeps happening like that. Across the line then, 15 to go. Yeah, double long lap penalties for Fernandez and Whiteley. Didn't say why, just the stewards gave that reasoning. As up the inside, we've got a little bit of contact as Ortola tries to take out Piqueras. Alonso's retaken 4th position now as they come into the braking zone. So Alonso back up to 4th, Piqueras in 5th. And now it's Rossi, Ruda and Ortola battling together. This is 6th Ortola, Rossi 7th now, Ruda 8th, Rulstone's in 9th. Kelso has dropped down into 10th position. So they're just having a little bit of to and fro together. They need to just calm it down a little bit, because if they do too much too soon, there will be a crash. And there is Ortola hitting the back of the 36 of Piqueras, and that's why Piqueras has dropped down the order. That's why he's back down into 5th then, with Alonso. 3 wide into the Dunlop chicane, and it's swapped over again. Alonso looking on the inside. This is the battle for 4th. The Colombian who leads the championship. Will he still lead the championship at the end of today? He's in 4th position. Looking back now, Ivan Ortola in 6th position is deltaing up. One ball with Colin Via right now in the 95, who's running in 3rd. Munoz right in the back. Oh, and there we go as well, because Ortola's going to have a little look on the inside of Piqueras as we come into Rakudaman the last 2 corners. The double throw to Rakudaman. And then back on the power, up towards the line. 14 laps to go then. Holgado still closing it in as the sector times start to reach up. And we're going to Stefano Nepper, 141.211. He's in 17th position. Up to the chicane then we come. Holgado still goes defensive. Munoz still P2. No one at the moment ducking and diving positions. Munoz trying to defend as Colin Via gets a fantastic exit. Coming down, looks on the inside line into La Chapelle. Munoz, though, his eyes fully on Holgado. Via knows that. Via knows that Munoz isn't going to be looking behind and going, oh, yeah, after you then, after you. No, it's very much a one and all go. And we've got a penalty for Zabi Sakura as well, who has been given a long lap penalty due to a shortcut at turn 4. Also, David Almanza has been given a long lap penalty due to a shortcut at turn 4 as well. So they've both been given penalties by the stewards. Rossi on the inside, and that's Rossi getting ahead, certainly of Ortola. Did he get ahead of Piqueras as well? Yeah, but Rossi's up to 5th. Riccardo Rossi deals with Antonio Baqueiras together. Baqueiras down to 6th. Rossi moves up into 5th position with a fabulous move. And there's the shortcut penalty for David Almanza and Xavier Secura. Shortcuts turn 3 and 4. Double long lap penalty. Oh, that's a little bit rude. From Ruda. And Colin Vire moves up into 2nd position. Gets ahead of Munoz. Coming through the S Blue chicane. And then out of Recruitment. Still going to close up with the battles. Riccardo Rossi, 0.4 the gap between the leaders at the moment. Into the Dunlop chicane. And then the Ford chicane is on the last 2 on this part of the track. Oh, Lewis out goes straight off the track. Didn't see that at the top of the hill. Lap 8 of 20. Field starting to separate. Let's head down to TNT.
I think we've noticed as well this season, Daniel Algado, who leads a lot of laps, but where the team have got that bike set, he's hard to pass. It accelerates so well. He's obviously giving off some slipstream, but they're struggling to get past him up into turn 1, which really surprises me. But fair play to the Gas Tech 3 Moto3 team. Whatever they do with that motorcycle, they get it just running so perfect out the slow corners.
One of your old mechanics, Hector Testori, is the guy down there who's in charge of Tech at Tech 3? And Moto3 anyway.
Yeah, and basically, if he was one of my old mechanics, that means he's pretty old and very experienced. and clearly good at dealing with petulant children, because he had to deal with it at some point.
It was at Dantine, so, you know, it wasn't an easy year. So, Algado from Fire now. Oh, and Ricky, I tell you what, Riccardo Rossi means business here,
Looks
doesn't
lively.
he?
Oh,
God!
And Rossi's down! Rossi's down on the deck. He is out of the race. Just dropped it, coming through Sector 4 in the S Blues. And the bike would have gone at turn 11, so that's it. Riccardo Rossi is out of the race. He went from him on the inside for P3, clipped the curb, and did he get hit? Yes, he did, by Munoz. Munoz hits him down on the deck, and that's going to be a penalty, surely, for David Munoz. Surely for irresponsible riding. And how close was Riccardo Rossi to being sent back across the track through the second part of the blue chicane? Yeah, oh, Riccardo, I feel so sorry for you as well. Incident is currently under investigation by the stewards. Taya Ferrizzo has been given a long lap penalty due to a shortcut at turn 4 as well. Just as an update from the stewards. And Colin Vire takes the lead away from Daniel Hologado for the first time today. So, once again, this Ferrizzo, turn 3 and 4 shortcut. Yeah, thought that would be the case, unfortunately. So a shortcut penalty will change it around again. Colin Vire leads this race. Daniel Hologado 2nd. Munoz 3rd. Alonso 4th. Ortola has 5th position, but for how much longer? Munoz moves up into 2nd position, gets ahead of Hologado. That's nice. Coming through the Ox Blues into the S Blues. Hologado and Alonso now separated by 9 points in the championship. Hologado's fighting back at the inside line. Munoz going to try that trick again. Can't. Yellow flag's clear. Bit of rain smoke in the air. As you can tell the difference, can't you? It's starting to blow up a little bit. A little bit of moisture in the air. Wonder if we have it. If it rains, remember, the red flag comes out in Moto3. There's no flag-to-flag rule, so if the rain does start to come down, we have to have a red flag procedure. Via leads. Ferrizzo, long lap penalty has now been confirmed again on the monitor. That's a second. Hang on, that's another one. Tyre Ferrizzo, try limits warning for Del Waller. Armand has completed his long lap penalty, but Tyre Ferrizzo has been given another long lap penalty due to irresponsible riding. No, hang on a minute. Tyre Ferrizzo due to incorrect long lap excursion. It's changed on the monitor. So Tyre Ferrizzo is a long lap penalty due to incorrect long lap execution. So it's another long lap. So the timing screen can't even get it right. If anything, Munoz will get a penalty for irresponsible riding. Maybe the computer's glitching on that fact as well. If the stewards have made their mind up. Hasn't come up yet. Colin Vire from the Netherlands leads this race at the moment and is in an absolute barnstorm position. In the 95, Holgado in second position. They'll continue to find their way through. Down towards the chicane once more. That cloud cover is becoming ever present here in Moto3. And Munoz has been given a double long lap penalty. David Munoz, a double long lap penalty due to irresponsible riding. There it is. Well, that's only deserved for what he did to Riccardo Rossi, I'm afraid. Through Ricudamon, once more. Halfway there in the Moto3 Grand Prix of France. Via leads Holgado, Munoz, Alonso, Ortola, Paqueras, Yamanaka, Ruda, Kelso, Rulstone the top 10. But how much longer are the top 3 going to change as they are side by side coming up towards the chicane? Holgado takes the lead. Munoz with that double long lap penalty takes second. And Colin Vire moves up into third place. Fabulous move on the inside line as we come down to La Chapelle at turn 5 and 6. Sector 2 comes out towards the museum corner. Munoz looking around the outside, take the lead of the race. Holgado's going to slip through on the inside line. Munoz goes through, forces out Holgado. Another bit of irresponsible riding. Yellow flag, sector 2. Scott Ogden has crashed out of the race. And Munoz takes his first long lap penalty and surely will drop close towards the back. Scott Ogden is out of the race here in Moto3. It's all go now, isn't it? Munoz dropped down to 17th place as well.
One yet.
Paul Lanetta will have seen him join as he's just gone past and thought, oh no, I've now got him behind me.
So he's 2.3 behind. That's how much you lose through the long lap loop. Here comes Ralston. Ralston through now. So that's him up into 7th place. I'll tell you what, Rueda's kept his powder dry in these early laps. Yamanaka's in there too after 2 4th places on the bounce.
Yeah, and it's funny how different riders go about these races. Rueda is always a guy who will sit in the pack, try and save his tyres, not get involved in any dangerous moves or over-ambitious moves, and then he always attacks with about 2 laps to go.
Still Paqueras sat there in 5th ahead of Ortola and Ralston and Rueda. Joel Esteban is there in the 78 coming through the picture as Daniel Holgado leads them down into La Chapelle once again.
Yeah, it's a nice little movement as they come through. Holgado leads via Alonso, Ortola, Paqueras, Yamanaka, Rulstone as well as they come through it. So, lap 12 or 20. Joel Esteban up in 9th position. Suzuki down in 10th as well. It's only 16th, Joel Esteban. Moved up into 9th. A nice little double position gain for him at the moment. How much is too much? That's the question as well. Kelso's dropped down to 16th place now as well. So there's more changes to be found. No one improvement. Actually, Aidan Fernandez, fastest first and second sector. Mika Caro, middle sector, sector 2 was quite fast as well. There's still data to be found. Caro, track limits warning, and Farizzo completes his long lap penalty. Munoz will do his, I think he hasn't done his second long lap penalty. Oh, off the track goes to 36. Paqueras forced off by Ortola. Ortola still getting his elbows out, I see at the moment. Now the race starting to quieten down. This is the part where everyone goes, what really going to happen here, I wonder.
As Holgado still leads us through. Personal best laps of the race for Daniel Holgado and David Alonso.
Yeah, and is this where we're going to see the field get stretched? Yeah, look already. He started already.
Yeah, perhaps why Yamanaka was so insistent on getting through. Holgado runs in deep, though, and loses top spot to Colin Vire. So the 95 ahead of the 96. And still David Alonso sits tight. I know which way my money would be going in that 4-way battle if it was like that on the last lap. just think back to that opening round in Qatar and the way Alonso sorted it out. But let's not forget Portugal, for example, where Olgado hit the front and somehow just gave nobody a chance on the last lap. They've all got their little styles.
Oh, they have, and Colin Via in the last Grand Prix led the last lap with David Munoz behind him, and again did the perfect last lap, and he's leading now.
Ralston, having been right up in the mix, has just been pushed right back to 14th place. So I'm not sure what's happened in the second sector there. So Ralston was up to 7th, going so well, and he's right at the back of the group now. Joel Kelso, something's happened to him too. Munoz has now completed his double long lap penalty, but Munoz has rejoined ahead of Kelso, so something's happened there for him. Ooh, that was Joel Esteban. I think Piqueras is just labouring a little bit now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it looks like the way his bike's set, he loses time all the way up here. And the problem is that when you're forcing to make the time back up on the brakes, you put a bit more stress through your tyres. You get to this point in the race and you really are going to feel it, especially the front.
Yvonne Ortola, we haven't spoken much about Ortola in this race, but he's also another one. We know he can be aggressive, choose his moments.
He's capable, isn't he? He'll give it a go.
And with 7 laps to go, that's exactly what you're going to want to have. Someone making the differences. Via Holgado, Alonso, 1, 2, 3, as they come into Museum once more. Now, are we going to see anything from Alonso? Is he going to pounce at the front and try and take the championship lead? He's the type of person who could do it, so it's not always impossible. Where are we up to then in this race? What time is on the clock? 11:25, I believe, anyway, on the clock here. Okay. So we've had Deltweller has a long lap penalty due to exceeding the track limits. Yeah, there we go, just flashing up on the screen now. So Noah Deltweller with a track limits penalty to flash up on the board as well. Current conditions for the way, cloudy, air temperature 20 degrees, ground temperature 29 degrees. There's a 60% chance of rain as well. So the rain is still flying above the circuit here. By no means are we safe just yet. It is one of these where you sort of go, so are we in trouble? Are we not in trouble? Deltweller has been given... There we go, that long lap penalty for the track limits, as we told you a minute ago. 6 laps to go, and another darkening French Grand Prix here at Le Mans. Holgado nearly touches Via down the start-finish straight. How close was that as the conditions seem to worsen in the braking zone? Holgado nearly sends Colin Via into the 6th dimension. Unbelievable. Sideways. He takes the lead though, Holgado. Via drops back. Alonso's fighting him through. This is a replay. So Holgado pulls out the toe into turn 1. Via didn't know he's there. Holgado is right there. And Via hits him. And then Holgado opens up the wheel and forces Via off the track. Bit naughty there from Holgado. He did. Yeah, that's Holgado riding dirty. Very much is.
Via doesn't know that he's there necessarily.
Absolutely. You always say in that situation, the rider behind or coming through has all the information, so that could be a penalty.
Yeah, thinking the same thing.
It's borderline.
I
it's
think
a
because
borderline.
they both stayed on and it's still in there, they probably won't do anything. And
I'd like there for actually not to be a penalty, but then how do you encourage someone to not be doing that? Because he could have ended up a fraction harder and he'd have gone down. And that would have been ugly.
Joel Esteban set the fastest lap of the race on the last lap. In fact, of the top 10, 7 set personal best laps. The pace is up. They're starting to learn this with the Pirellis, aren't they? Starting to know you've got to save something for this stage of the race.
Absolutely. Yeah, I quite like it.
Yeah,
like I say, it's. I don't know if to use your brain a little
Munoz
bit more.
is out!
Munoz has crashed, talking of using brain, and unfortunately, after his double long lap penalty, well, he is now down and out.
I know what Ricardo Rossi will be thinking. Karma.
Munoz is out, turn
Olgado
11.
leads, 5 laps remaining in this race. Via in second now. Alonso, we haven't really spoken about him. He's there. When does he pull the pin?
Well, he's waiting, isn't it?
Munoz has
You can
rejoined.
feel his adrenaline's building. He's getting close.
David Munoz taps himself on the head. He's rejoined the race, but as if to say, oh, I've been silly here.
Yeah.
Not quite sure what's
Well,
happened. It's in the blue X's actually where he made the contact with.
And dealt well as completed his long-out penalty. But we've got a yellow flag, sector 1. We don't know what for. Munoz crashed, rejoins the race. So what's happened here with this issue? No idea. Matteo Bertoletti has stopped with a technical issue. So Bertoletti has dropped to the back. Yep. So that's why the yellow flag's out in sector 1. Bertoletti stopped. Okay, thumbs up there then as they continue to push. Holgado, Via, Alonso, Ortola, Esteban, Yamanaka, Paqueras, 14th captain Fernandez. So many riders in with a shot at winning the French Grand Prix. It really bears thinking about. It's going to be this type of race, though, where it's toing and throwing again and again and again. And there is Matteo Bertoletti for the Copron Riccardo Cold team. A technical issue down the start straight, actually. So the back's blown out, basically. Out he goes. Coming through hot from 4th position is Ivan Ortola on the inside of David Alonso. Down the chicane. Gets through for 3rd position. So Alonso down to 4th. Ortola out to 3rd. But Harlan 4. Alonso and Esteban are coming there as well. Yol Esteban finding his way through. Ortola takes 3rd position. Alonso's going to want to try and change that as hard and as fast as he possibly can. The wind's picking up here at Le Mans. The rain blowing in. Are we going to get a wet Moto2 or MotoGP race later? That's always a factor to try and remember. Still pushing so hard. As they'll turn in once more. What's this on the board here? Don't tell me about Munoz. Something on the monitor. Entered pits and retired. Munoz is out of the race, everyone. So Munoz is out of the Moto3 French Grand Prix. Sadly, that was expected. And therefore not a surprise. As they'll continue to push. 3 to go. Out of the last corner. Air temperature at 20 degrees.
Cavalgado.
Across the line. 3 to go now. I'll tell you what, the anticipation is just there, isn't it? We expect fireworks. Are they going to go off?
We've big upped Alonso all weekend. We've talked about him all weekend. He's been incredible. We know he's aggressive. But it's crunch time now where you get with just 3 laps to go. The pressure's on. Normally he's really decisive. Normally he's really aggressive. Can we see that from number 80 again?
And once Olgado's hit the front, suddenly the pace has dropped again by a couple of tenths. And again, Olgado loves to go for that deep line in La Chapelle to cut back. But it's opened the door wide open for Via to come through. Maybe he wants to look at Via, see where he's strong. I don't think so. I think it was just one of those. That line he's been taking a few times.
Yeah.
Paul Espargaro. Some wise words from a wise old head.
Don't you know it? I know you can, we know what he's saying. And I'd be saying exactly the same to him. And I'd be saying it tomorrow. I'd call him up and you'd be like, we need a chat.
You've got the pace.
Yeah. Like we talked about him this weekend, the hardest part of motorcycle racing is to have the speed, have that raw speed, and that's what he's got. Here he comes.
They've got a run on him. Here he goes.
This is it. And David Alonso takes the lead coming into the Essex Blues. Holgado is going to fight back so hard you won't believe it. He's not going to let this one go. Round the outside, 3 wide, 3 abreast, coming through the Ox Blues and into S Blues. They are really side by side. Alonso leads this race. The foot pegs are sparking alongside the floor. 2 laps to go here at the French Grand Prix for Moto3. Across the line, down through turn 1 and 2, the Dunlop, then into the Dunlop chicane. Holgada's going to run, he pulls to the inside line, he tries the same trick he did on Colin Via. Alonso drops back, he's going to try and come back through on the inside line. They late break. Holgado takes the lead. The championship protagonists are battling so hard now, it is unbelievable. Holgado 99 points if things finish as they stand. Alonso will be 11 points back. That could swing to 6 points difference. It's a lot in the name of the game. Across they come once more. Into Museum. Colin Vire looking on the inside of this one. Alonso, don't forget, started on pole position, had a bad start, dropped back into 5th position, the furthest one he's been. Can he now regain the lead after saving pace throughout this race? Whoa, late to the brakes goes Esteban. Yamanaka says, thank you very much, I'll sneak through here for 5th place. No idea where Esteban was going there. Yamanaka was looking to avoid that. Down to the Ox Blues. Is anyone going to make a move? No. Into S Blues. There's double chicane. Hologano still leads. It's going to be a last lap bonanza here, something we like to see. They turn in once more. Kraken with the power. Side by side further back as well. Otola trying to get ahead of Yamanaka. Not working here. Yamanaka back ahead. And now we're coming in with Joel Esteban trying to have a fight. Everyone to play for here, as always, in Moto3 at the French Grand Prix. It's the final lap of the race. Down towards turn number 1. Alonso pulls to the inside line. He's going to try and sneak it through. Hologano says, okay, you have that one. I'll go doubly late on the brakes into the chicane. Alonso has the lead of the race. Hologano can't find a way back through. Vire keeping it in. Tries into La Chapelle to look on the inside line. Round the outside. Here comes Yamanaka. Ortola takes 4th. Yellow flag sectors 2 and 1. Nicola Caro has crashed out of the race. All eyes at the front though. Hologano desperately trying to get Alonso for the lead of this one. Up they come then. Hasn't been that long of a race at all. Only about half an hour. 33 minutes the race clock is on since the lights went out. Down now once again to the ex-Chem Ox Booth's corner. Hologano looks to the inside line, down to the breakers out. They nearly touch! Hologano gets a massive jolt down the straight. Backs out of it. Hologano down to 2nd. Alonso has the lead of the race into the S Blues for the last time. Vire and Ortola are right there as well, ready to capitalise. They're side by side, separated by absolutely nothing. Rakudamon and the short drag to the line. Hologano looks on the inside line. Ortola's right there too. Esteban takes 4th position. Out of the last corner. David Alonso wins the Moto3 French Grand Prix by nanoseconds. A 10th of a second to Hologano. That was all. David Alonso wins the French Grand Prix. Fine fashion. Fine fashion. What a race. That's how you do it. 21 official finishes. David Alonso wins. Daniel Hologano is 2nd. Colin Vire 3rd. Joel Esteban 4th. Ivan Ortola 5th. Adrian Fernandez 6th. Rusu Yamanaka 7th. Ruda 8th. Suzuki 9th. Baqueras 10th. Lunetta 11th, Rulestone 12th, Kelso 13th, Farizzo 14th, Almanza the final point in 15th. Zuritza, Nepa, Deltweller, Caro, Barassi, Whiteley the final finishes. Out of the race, Munoz, Bertoletti, Ogden, Rossi and Ferroli. But the top 3, Colin Vire 3rd, Daniel Hologano 2nd, and David Alonso wins the Moto3 French Grand Prix. A fine Grand Prix for Moto3.